everyone. Welcome to Montessori Matters with Blessing Fort-Ike. In my last video, I established that one of the ways to take advantage of the early years of the child is to understand the kind of mind the child has. I mentioned that the child has an absorbent mind, and I discussed ways that we can take advantage of this mind. In this video, I discuss another aspect of the child's development called the sensitive period. The sensitive period is very delicate, it's crucial. The sensitive period and the absorbent mind work together to make the child learn easily. What is sensitive period? It's a period of special sensibility where the child has an irresistible urge towards a well-defined activity within its environment. They do this activity over and over again without anybody prompting them to do it, because the purpose of the sensitive period is to perfect a particular skill, to develop a particular faculty through repetition. This repetition is not stressful to the child. It is refreshing. The child does it with so much zeal, so much pleasure, that the child will want to do it until that skill is perfected. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. You see a child walking up and down the staircase for no reason. To the adults, there's no reason why the child should be walking up and down the stairs. But that is the power of the sensitive period, urging the child to work to perfect the skill for movement. Another example is when the child is in sensitive period for refinement of the senses. You see the child pick things from the floor and put it in his or her mat to perfect the skill. The child wants to explore its environment, want to learn within its environment. So I will tell you that the sensitive period does not happen in any sequence. It overlaps because we have various sensitive periods. So they overlap and sometimes they are adjoining. Sensitive period is universal. Sensitive period is predetermined. And we have a lot of sensitive periods, but in Montessori, we group them into 6 sensitive periods. Sensitive period for order, sensitive period for grace and courtesy, where the child is prompt to learning good manners, sensitive period for movement, sensitive period for language, sensitive period for refinement of the senses, and sensitive period for small objects or tiny details. In this video, I will discuss 3 sensitive periods. The sensitive period for language is the first one I want to discuss in this video. And it is active when the child is born. From birth to about 6 years, the child is open to learning language easily. At this time, what we need to do as educators, as parents, is to expose the child to rich vocabulary. How do we do that? We read aloud to the children. We talk to them about anything and about everything. We listen to them. We show them how to communicate. When we talk to them and they reply us, we give them eye contact. This is also the time where you teach them the language, any language you want them to learn, any language you want them to speak. This is the right time to teach them those languages. This is the right time to expose them to those languages, because they will learn it effortlessly without putting so much effort. That's why you see that when grown-up want to learn a language, they take more time, they put more effort to learn it, because they are no longer in the sensitive period for language. But to a child from birth to age 6, when any language they are exposed to, they learn it easily. Another sensitive period is sensitive period for the refinement of senses. And this sensitive period is active from when the child is a year plus to about 4 years of age. the child is fascinated by the senses, by exploring with the 5 senses. You see the child want to observe, the child want to explore with his 5 senses. He want to learn about his environment. This is a way of developing the faculty of attention and concentration. So as educators, as parents, what do we need to do? We should be willing to arrange and rearrange the home to suit this need that the child has at this time. It's a period whereby education should be based on sensory. What do I mean? The child should be exposed to activities that he can see and manipulate with his hands. By so doing, the child is developing his senses, is refining his senses, and is getting information into the brain through the senses. Hence, I will recommend Montessori education for the early years. The last sensitive period I want to share with us today is the sensitive period for tiny detail. We call it a sensitive period for little small objects or tiny details. At this time, the children are fascinated with little detail, little things, and it's active from 18 months to about 4 years. You see, children, they want to dismantle things. When you see them dismantling things, it's not because they want to damage those things. It's not because they want to be destructive. It's that they have the sensitive period for detail. They want to develop the faculty for attention, the faculty for concentration. You can build concentration anytime of the child's life, but however, it is at its peak between 18 months and 4 years thereabout, because God has placed that sensitive period in the child to develop this skill. So what are you supposed to do as a parent, as an educator, that notice that the child is in a sensitive period for little detail? You allow them to examine things. You place things around it that they can explore. When you see them dismantling things, don't shout. What you can do, you can redirect them to things that they can dismantle and tell them that this one you matter is in use. Or you say maybe you're in a walk within the neighborhood or the neighborhood of classroom, and you see they're drawn to observing twigs, animals, anything within the environment. Don't stop them. Just make sure you are safety conscious. Just guide them and show them how they can explore. You can take them for nature walk. All this enable them to satisfy that urge to learn about detail, and thereby building their faculty for attention and concentration. I believe you have learned 1 or 2 things from this video. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and share with family and friends. I will see you in the next video.